Okay, we're moving on now to multiplication by a single digit. This is your tables. This is where you need to know your tables. Okay, and you can see the way the sum is laid out here on the little whiteboard in the middle. 37.26 times 4. Okay, now we have had lots of practice of some multiplying like this, but without the decimal point. Okay, so this is the important thing to remember, right? The first thing that you are going to do when you write your answer is you're going to put in the decimal point. Okay, so you're going to do in your mind, or even with a pencil lightly, a straight line so that the decimal point is directly below the decimal point. I cannot tell you how important that is. Okay, now the other thing to do is to notice that we have 2 numbers to the right hand side of the decimal point. So our answer must also have 2 numbers, and you can see that there is 04. Those are the 2 numbers that are also on the right hand side of the decimal point. Okay, so let's go to the first one. So here are the sums. We've got 3.58 times 4. Okay, so we're going to put our decimal point in first. I don't know how this is going to work out because I'm using a mouse. So there's my decimal point. It's directly below. 4 times 8 is 32. So I'm going to put 2 and carry the 3, which is very badly done. 5 4s are 20. So we'll add in the 3. That's a 3. Carry the 2. 3 4s are 12. Plus 2 is 14. And there's plenty of room for me to write it giant there. Okay, so that is how it'll go. Obviously, as we go on to H, there are more numbers on the left hand side of the decimal point, but there are still only 2 numbers on the right hand side. Okay, please don't forget to put your decimal point in the answer. My suggestion is that you put the decimal point in first so that it's lined up. It's so important, especially if you haven't got squared paper. It is so important that you line up your decimal points. You're using your columns. Okay, so for example in H, we've got hundreds, tens, units, tenths, and hundreds. We've got 5 columns. We're actually going to have 6 columns in the answer, so you need to leave space for that, but 2 columns to the right hand side of the decimal point. Okay, number 2 is asking you to rewrite each of these in the form above. So although it says 8.7 times 6, you're going to lay it out the way it's laid out above. Now notice that A, B and C plus also G have got 1 number. No, that isn't right. It's just A, B and G have got 1 number on the right hand side of the decimal point. That means the answer will have 1 number to the right of the decimal point. Okay, I cannot tell you how important that is. It is so important. Okay, if we've got 1 number, if we start with 1 number on the right hand side, we end with 1 number on the right hand side. Okay, then now if you're finding this hard, like I've said with so many of the others, do it over 2 days, because there's another page here. This is your word problems. So it's the same kind of sums. You're going to be multiplying a decimal by 1 number. But this is going to be quite complicated. So show your working. Show your working. Right? I want to see lots of sums here. I do not want to see just an answer. Okay? The reason is that if I see your sums and your answers are wrong, I can tell you where you went wrong in your sum. If it's just an answer, it's just wrong. Okay? So a packet of gums weighs 32.7 grams. What is the weight of 8 packets? That's a straightforward multiplication. B, you have to work out how many hours before you can do your multiplication sum. Okay? Baby Joe gained 289 grams per week. So that is straightforward multiplication. D, you've got 2 multiplications and a takeaway. So as you go through that, you'll find that there are lots of sums. Do what you can in one day. If you're tired, if you've had enough, stop. You can complete the second day. Okay? Let me know how you get on.